Presented by GhostBed.com. Welcome to the Monday morning recap show. Ooh, 5 o'clock Eastern. Early today.
Is it morning in Hawaii?
I think so. I think it is. We are celebrating the life of Scottie Scheffler today. Masters champion. He has now won 4 of his last 6 events. I'm looking directly at Delco Dan for this. Mm-hmm. When are you going to start picking him to win?
The ultimate heater.
Is it the greatest ever in golf?
But this is like Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. If he starts betting on him, he'll start losing.
It's also like if you're playing roulette and the same number just keeps coming up. That's not going to happen every time. It's fucking golf. This is absurd.
He's on another planet right now. You were trying to get me amped up yesterday, texting me about Rory, and I was like, hey.
He's coming.
He's coming. He's still 5 shots back, though. And even if he shoots the course record, which he ended up tying.
He shot 64.
He tied it. So, yeah, and I
60,
told you.
64 in the spring is better than 64 in the fall, which is what Homeboy did, 2 years ago, last year.
Dustin. Yeah. But Rory also, he parred 15 and he parred 16. And he also parred 2. So there was a lot of holes he could have gotten. But, yeah, even if he does that, right? Scottie 4 putts on 18 and still wins by 3.
Yeah.
He's on another planet. Everyone else, there's a lot of no-shows this week. Obviously, Brooks, my pick, just didn't show up.
Nope.
Xander didn't show up. He missed the cut as well.
Yep.
Spieth missed the cut.
Yep.
A lot of guys just, suck dick this week.
Does Scheffler have any chance at this record here, most wins in a season? The modern record is Vijay Singh and Tiger at 9 wins in one season. He's got 4 already.
He's got 4.
I mean, he's not over the middle hump yet.
It's April. It's April.
I know. I'm saying he's got plenty of time, but how fucking long can you stay that hot?
Here's the
and it's another thing also. Like Vijay Singh and Tiger both won majors in those years too, so it's not like they were winning bullshit tournaments.
This is reminiscent kind of when Jason Day went on his run and he won his major. But like towards the end of that year, he won the PGA Championship and then a few other tournaments, and he was just like the best player on the planet.
Yep.
But like it was kind of like the Scottie situation where like I don't think he is the best player on the planet. I just think he's the hottest guy right now.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the numbers here, and there's some stats that jump out that are crazy to me. In the last 57 days, he has made $8.7 million in the last 57 days, which equals the money he's made on tour for his entire career.
Right.
His first win was this year. Mm-hmm. He has 4 wins on tour. They have all been in the last 6 weeks.
But he's also been kind of that dude. Like a few years ago, he shot a 59 on tour. Like he's been in the mix. He was on a Ryder Cup team. So he was kind of like, next up. And, really pulling yourself up by the bootstraps at Highland Park.
It's nice to see a kid from the ghetto succeed.
He's from here, right?
He's from Highland Park, Dallas, so Dallas, Fort Worth.
He's a Longhorn.
He went to the same high school as Stafford and Kershaw.
Well, they're clearly doing something right there at that high school. Jesus Christ.
He also has like the most Dallas-looking face possible, right? Yeah. Like every dude from Dallas looks like Scottie Scheffler.
Every time I go up to Dallas, it's just 1,000 Scottie Schefflers.
They look 10 years older than they actually are.
Yeah,
he's only 25.
He's 25 years old. He looks like he's fucking 40.
Dude, I'm with you. I thought he was like 30, 35, like 37.
That's just Dallas.
You know like how you kind of like manifest. To an extent, you can manifest how you look in a way, like if your spirit and everything like that. Like just if you have a youthful disposition, blah, blah, blah. All those people, specifically from Highland Park in Dallas, as soon as they graduate high school, they aspire to be 40. They
I can't wait to be an old man.
Yeah. Like they really they cannot wait to pull on that golf polo, get a little bit of a gut,
throw the dad hat on,
fire up the green egg, go to church on Sunday with the kids.
Get some New Balance, the whole thing.
It's fucking, I know them. Like I have Highland Park people in my family, and this is exactly what they are all like. Love them, but goddamn.
I will say though, Scottie is very fun, right? Like he has got a crazy homemade swing where he looks like he's slipping every time he hits the ball.
Correct.
He's getting up and down from all over the place because he's not necessarily like, especially Sunday. He started out where he kind of goes off into the woods.
Yeah.
He goes over the green and gets up and down for par.
His approach game's pretty good though.
Yeah, no, his short game was absurd yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that chip in on 7?
Yeah.
Where if he doesn't hit the pin, like that's off the green.
Way off the green. Yeah.
I mean, but he did.
He did.
He was trying to do it. Obviously, he wasn't trying to hit it off the back of the green.
Right.
So, and then the funniest part of that whole thing for me, though, like it seemed pretty obvious about midway through yesterday's round. No matter what happened, I thought he was going to win at that point. Like
There was a
Rory
point-
was playing well, but it would have had to have been a complete collapse. And he almost,
I would say Cam early on looked like he was going hunting, like he was coming for it.
Where did he start off today?
Well, the first 12 holes were, scratch that, 11 holes. Like, he was in it the entire way, and then 12 is where, I think you sent me a text that said ball game, and I agreed. I was like, that he's done.
He made the classic mistake of going for the pin on 12.
Right.
Which Tiger has been notoriously said, like, whenever you go, like, just go to the middle of the green, take your two-putt, take the par.
Yeah.
And
He 10-cupped it.
Well, he was going for the win, so you can't fold him
Well,
that
I mean,
much.
if you're down, you have to take the chance.
You do.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But yeah, it's the fun part for me was like last week when, or I guess a week and a half ago when UNC beat Duke, was seeing Krzyzewski and his wife. Like seeing his wife's misery was really fun for me.
Yeah.
And then seeing
also, you pointed out they had the same haircut.
yes, yeah, and seeing the range of emotion from Scheffler's wife.
Yep.
When she like he's on the green and ends up 4-putting, right?
Yeah.
Which is not optimal, but he had plenty of.
But it's also because you can at that point.
Yeah, he had plenty of space,
Well-
but the last two that he missed before he made one are fucking easily makeable putts.
And if
One
you're going
looked
to
like a
4-putt,
two-footer, yeah.
if you're going to 4-putt, just 6-putt at that
Yeah.
point, right?
Yeah,
Like,
win by one.
The reason she was especially worried, though, is because she told him before that day started when he was crying. He said he was crying like a baby. He said, I'm not ready for this. And she said, who are you to say what you're ready for? Like, Jesus tells you what you're ready for. So she was standing there being like, oh my God, is Jesus Christ himself telling my husband that he's not ready for this moment? Like, Christ was on that green potentially being like, no.
yeah,
First of all, Christ is everywhere. Second of all, through Christ, anything is possible.
Jesus
so.
is like blowing on the golf ball. Yeah, but like seeing her like, but after the first putt, like there was, I think that was a long shot. Anyways, after the first putt, he's in. What was he like 5 feet away at that point, maybe? After that first putt, and then she lights up. She lights up. She goes, "Oh shit, this is fucking over. He's gonna win this."
Yeah.
Then he misses a putt. And she goes, "Okay, you got it, honey." Then he misses another putt. She's like, "Okay, you got it, honey."
But even he had like a nervous laugh to him
Yeah.
when he missed that other, the
was like, "What
last
the
one. He was
fuck?"
like, oh, come on.
So when Rory holes out on 18, right, I'm like, maybe. Just
Was
maybe.
he 3 back at that point or 4 back?
No, he like Scotty
At
was going
5.
off.
He
It
was
like
5 back,
5.
yeah.
But Scotty, well, he still had to play 14 or 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. But 14, when he hits that shot on the 14 and puts it within like 3 feet, I'm like, all right, that was pretty much ball game there.
Yeah.
He's not going to fall apart from that point.
No. And we always talk about building superstars on this show. I think a guy like that, because he does have this Dallas look to him, as you guys like to call it, going into the press conference afterwards and being that brutally honest about life and golf and what you went through that day. I've never heard anyone say, I was so fucking nervous that I cried my eyes out
Yep.
before the final round. Because you always wonder, and it always goes back to Greg Norman. His collapse was probably one of the most epic.
Spieth, too.
Yeah.
It's a UT guy.
UT guy.
Another Dallas
Yeah.
guy.
Another Dallas guy.
It's
They
like-
played on the, both Longhorns.
Those are both like Nixon in the debate versus JFK, where he's just like pouring sweat the
Yeah.
whole time. Like that's how big of a collapse those were. I
But
mean,
Yeah.
Spieth was always like the golden boy. Like he was always expected to become what he is. Scotty had a lot of injuries in college, so he had to battle through all of that. So him just kind of he had to go through the Corn Ferry Tour, work his way up. So he's a little bit of a working man from Dallas, as
But
much
I
as a
like
working
him.
man as he can be. Yeah, no, he's
I like him. I think he's an interesting personality, and I think this run has been really, really fun. Even Tiger afterwards was like, dude, this run he's on is special. I mean, this is
And
crazy.
did you realize literally everything Scotty wears is like Tiger Woods apparel?
Yeah, yeah.
Even the shoes, you have the Tiger Woods logo on the bottom of his shoe.
But if you think about it, it's odd to say, but he's 25 years old. He grew up, and Tiger was probably his hero. Tiger's 6 or 7?
46.
Yeah, I was probably his hero growing up in golf, much like all of us probably. I'm not a big golfer, but I would watch any tournament that Tiger Woods was in just to watch him.
I like dominance. Like
Same.
it's right now you see there will be periods where there's maybe some kind of rivalry between two players. But for that there was like a fucking 10 or 12-year period where it was Tiger versus everybody else, every single tournament.
And it was always they always try to make it Tiger versus Phil, but that wasn't.
Yeah.
That was not
Tiger
a real
versus
thing.
Tiger versus
No.
VJ was more of a thing than Tiger.
Yeah.
Like from 01 to 04, it was more of a thing than ever Tiger versus Phil was.
And
right?
we never got like any of those like classic matchups where they were
Yeah.
going head to head or like at the end of a tournament, right? Like Tiger versus Phil. That was never a thing. But yeah, I mean, there's so many guys on the PGA Tour right now though that are like the field is so deep. To be able to do what Scottie's doing right now, 4 of 6, winning the major, like this is absurd. Like this just doesn't make any sense.
It's absurd, and I'm going to ask this question because you're the golf expert on the show here.
Well, as hot as Scottie is right now, I'm as cold making picks. So.
Oh yeah, you've been awful. You've been awful, but
Hand up.
No, it's fine. But is there any possibility that he could run through all 4 majors and win?
No, he's not doing that.
You don't think so?
He's not going to win all 4 majors now.
So, like, why not? I guess is the question. 4 out of 6 is
Has there ever even been a calendar slam?
Tiger.
To
Well,
borrow
Tiger
that?
did a
Tiger
Slam.
did the Tiger Slam, but I don't think it was in a calendar year.
No, it was
kind of
he
rolled
won
over.
the second
did roll
tournament
over,
of the
yeah.
year and then won the first the next year.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
rolled over into the Masters
But yeah,
the
It's
following year.
called a calendar slam in tennis, so it assume be pretty much. But there's 5 majors in golf, basically, right?
4.
There is still
Yeah.
4.
Yep.
Yeah.
4.
So he won the second
Unless you want
major.
to consider the players. But
Okay.
Nobody
yeah,
did.
yeah,
nobody
that's what I
does.
was thinking of.
He won the second major of the year, 3rd and 4th, and then the first of the next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Tiger Slam.
Yeah.
Which is
So
like the
you
Grand
don't think he
Slam
can do it?
breakfast from Denny's.
And then as far as the golf show goes,
Right.
do you start picking him now because you haven't picked him all year?
Is it fun to pick the favorite every tournament?
Well, he's
No.
not. Here's the thing. He has not been the favorite. So John Rahm has been the favorite in every single tournament because I've been doing the show with you.
I know you
and
hate
I'm,
Rahm.
I'm starting to get good at this. I don't hate John Rahm at all. I just think if you're going to be number one and you're going to put him as the gambling favorite every single tournament and then you don't win any of them, it's fucked up that he's even that high up on these lists. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
I think you're just upset that you don't have a dump truck ass like John Rahm does.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
This is the wrong day to use dump trucks, okay?
No, I didn't do that. I've crossed a number of streets and been just fine.
We're not going to use dump trucks. We'll get to that story in a minute. But like with Scottie Scheffler, man, I'm going to start throwing money on him. He's too hot at this point.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a little bit more of a problem at the U.S. Open and the PGA Championship, which is kind of thicker rough. He kind of hits the ball over the map, getting up and down. So like he's going to have a little bit more problem with the thicker rough. But no, he's shown he can play anywhere. He's great. He's world number 1, deservedly so. But I think again, this is more of an indication of a heater, not like a long-term, kind of reflection of what he's going to be.
Well, this is the first time in a very long time that somebody has entered the Masters as number 1 in the world and then ended up winning.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's the first since Tiger Woods.
No, DJ did it, but on the weird COVID one.
Oh, on the do we even count any of those years anymore? Like, I don't count that Lakers championship.
Or the Dodgers.
The bubble. Nope. I don't count the Dodgers either. Was it 60 games?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
what the fuck?
the Dodgers are probably going to win this year, but we'll see.
So
we'll
Colin
find
Morikawa, 0 majors now.
Yeah.
His 2 COVID
Well,
majors don't count.
No, they don't count.
Exactly.
They don't count. Yeah,
He's Phil Mickelson.
yeah, exactly.
Phil won 20 or 23 or 25 tournaments before he ever won a major or some shit like that.
His
It was
first major, I think he won, was like 33.
his 33rd win.
33 years. No, 33 years old.
33 years
33,
old, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but he had been playing since 91. I mean, he's been around for a while.
For a while.
That was kind of a
He
like
is in Tin Cup.
yeah, he had like a bit of a monkey on his shoulder, I guess, for a while, right? That was a big
Yeah,
thing.
but then
Phil
he
never won a major.
started to roll some majors off after that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He won 3.
I mean, he
Masters,
won
right?
last year. Fuck.
He did. And it was amazing.
Yeah.
Didn't enter the tournament this year. Tiger Woods did and played really well.
First 2 days.
First
And
2
then
days.
It kind of, his legs started to go.
The fatigue.
Yeah.
That's to be
fatigue set in.
expected, though. But if that's what it was, he can definitely win a tournament, a major somewhere.
British
because-
Open?
I think so. So after,
like if
after
it's
the
not
tournament,
all this bullshit in Augusta, he could probably win.
Very flat
Yeah.
St. Andrews.
I was going to say, so after the tournament was over, he did commit to the Open. So he's going to play that. I saw, I watched most of it. I think he could win one more major.
Yeah, Old Course sets up great for him. It's short,
Mm-hmm.
flat piece of land. He knows like every inch of that property.
Yeah.
He could win
I
the
think he'll
Open.
win another Masters. I mean, that's his course, right?
Yeah.
That's
Right.
his-
He's just got to get healthy.
He's just got to get healthy.
Gotta get healthy.
That's it. But he looked good. It was fun to watch, and he was definitely all in afterwards. I mean, you could see the old Tiger was back, and he's like, "I'm entering the fucking Open. It's on." So he's going to win. He's not just showing up. Whereas the Masters, I thought maybe he was just showing up to be like, hey, I'm okay, I'm alive, leg is fine. Stop worrying about me. Stop asking questions.
Some uncomfortable moments of seeing him walk down those hills, though, and his leg was bending in a weird way.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
That is a tough course. Like, I walked it as a fan. It's like I was exhausted at the end of the day, let alone fucking playing. Like, holy shit. It's a tough course, man.
Yeah.
And not a lot of guys showed up. Not a lot of guys that were under par either.
No. Course won.
Yes.
Scottie Scheffler didn't win.
The first 2 rounds were pretty brutal, and then Saturday had I think the worst wind I've ever seen at like a major tournament before. It was fucking crazy. Like it wasn't just having to push into the wind on your fucking drive and approach shots, but putts were going like fucking out of control. I've never seen anything like that.
Tyrrell Hatton lost his mind on Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he was going to go full Happy Gilmore and start snapping
So
clubs
did
on
I.
his leg.
He was missing putts, and he was just like, he turned his putter into like a shotgun and just started shooting everybody in the stand.
You gotta Cobain yourself if
Yeah.
you're gonna do that.
Yeah.
I've never seen the Cobain move on a golf course. That's nice.
Sit down, put your toe at the end of the putter, and
And then pull the trigger.
It's getting your shoes back on. That's the tough part.
Pull the trigger. But either way, it's fun to watch. The Masters is always a blast.
And you were right about the fucking seeding and stuff because Rahm is he's the favorite for the PGA Championship.
Oh my God, are you kidding
Like
me?
Scheffler's won 4 out
Are you
of
fucking
6,
kidding me?
and Rahm is still the favorite.
Is that on mybookie.com?
I don't know. I have to look.
That's who we're brought to by today. MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros will double your deposit. The golf bets have been really, really fucking fun this year. This is the first time I've gone all in on it. Now that I'm learning, I'm starting to get good at it. Charles, my boy Charles, dude.
Backdoored his top 10.
There's a lot of value in
$50 paid me $800
those
on MyBookie.
top 10 and top 20, and then the matchup bets. There's more value in that than betting.
It's
the
great.
winner.
Matchup saved my ass
Great,
last week
dude. Yeah.
from a complete disaster.
It's
but
a
yeah.
blast to watch. Charles saved me. It was $800. Because we didn't win anything. The rest of these
Wait,
bets
what is this?
failed miserably.
Shouts to Corey Connors, though. Thank you for that top.
Yeah, go to mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros will double your deposit up to $1,000. Plenty to bet on. We bet on the fight Saturday night. Everything is listed on there. And these weekly golf matchups will go by top 20s, top 10s.
Actually, it's
and
flipped.
winners.
Scheffler is now plus 860, and Rahm is up to 950.
Scheffler's your favorite. There you go.
Yeah. He's the favorite now.
At plus 860, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so at plus 860, that's a lot. Those
not
odds are
good
decent.
value.
That's 8.5 to 1, though.
I mean,
But it's also a bigger field. Like the Masters is a limited field event. There's
Yeah.
like 90 guys.
Yep.
So there's going to be a much bigger field.
and it's a month from now too, so you're getting better odds now. than
Oh,
you
yeah.
would.
As it gets closer,
Yeah.
because let's say he wins again. Is he entered in any more tournaments leading up to that?
He's
I
not
would
gonna be in
imagine
the
so, right?
RBC.
I'm sure he'll play something coming up, but I don't think is he in RBC? Because I think he'll probably pull
Hang
out
on.
of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. Let me look.
I don't think he's playing Harbor Town this week now.
Okay.
Yeah. So Hilton Head.
I was in Hilton Head Island? Why not? Take the fam then.
No, but Justin Thomas, Cam, Morikawa, DJ, they're all playing. But I don't
For
see-
now, we'll
yeah.
see.
For now, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if anybody
That's a
withdraws.
short ride from Augusta to Hilton Head, though.
Horschel and
If you're going to
they're all
do it, that's the time to do it. It's a short drive over there. Plus Hilton Head. I love Hilton Head. Big fan. But went there as a kid. Love Hilton Head. We'll switch over to something sad here. Dwayne Haskins passed away. That was a really, really bizarre story that happened. I don't really have the words for why or how you're crossing a highway at 6:37 a.m.
Have details come out at all?
Yeah,
Any
so
type of
he was
intoxication or
not that yet, but there was one of my contacts at Ohio State said that he ran out of gas and was walking down the highway initially, and then decided to cross the highway to go the other way, and he was hit by a dump truck. It's really fucking bizarre. And as the day went on, I thought there was more to that story than what was initially reported, because it was initially reported as a car accident. And that you would understand. Crossing a highway at 6:30 in the morning, that's a major, major highway in Florida.
What highway
It was
was
a
he
little
on?
shocking. I believe it was the 435. Delco, you know.
495.
Yeah, that's it. Delco, you know that area better than I do in Florida. But Strange, bizarre story.
I think the weirder thing was like Adam Schefter when he tweeted about it. Was
Yeah.
saying, like failed NFL quarterback. Whatever the fuck he tweeted.
Basically,
Yeah.
that was the gist of it.
He said he struggled in the NFL.
It's like not necessary to lead with that.
None of it was necessary.
Like, how does
during
that? How does
tweet.
that provide? How does that provide any necessary context to the event? Like, if somebody didn't know who, most people who follow Adam Schefter know exactly who Dwayne Haskins is.
Yeah, right.
And if they don't, they're just going to go Google it and find out all that information for themselves. It reminds me of something that George Carlin used to say about editorializing in news headlines, right? Which is something that's the standard now. But he was like, I don't want to see a news headline that says brutal dictator killed. The headline should say dictator killed. You give me the facts, and I will decide if he was brutal or not. You know what I mean? That's a reasonable expectation to have, but
It's also redundant, right?
Yeah.
I have
Schefter's a cunt, though.
Yeah,
Like,
I have the
he's
Schefter
worst.
tweet up here. It says, Dwayne Haskins is standout at Ohio State before struggling to catch on with Washington and Pittsburgh in the NFL. Died this morning when he got hit by a car in South Florida. Per his agents, Cedric Saunders, Haskins would have turned 25 years old on May 3rd. Again, what is struggling to catch on with Washington and Pittsburgh in the NFL have to
not
do
necessary.
with
Has
not,
he even
none.
struggled to catch on with Pittsburgh yet? Wasn't this his first year?
First year?
Yeah, and Ben was the starter, so now he's going in to compete between him and Mason Rudolph, and who do you fucking
And
think is going
Trubisky.
to win that?
And Trubisky.
Yeah,
And so this whole trip, by the way, was organized by Mitch Trubisky. He invited Haskins down there, which I thought was cool. And there was 13 players total that were there training, working out.
It was all the skill guys, I think. Right?
Yeah. But crazy, weird story. And I don't. The only thing that's left, I guess, is a toxicology report at this point. But why he was crossing a highway at 6:30 in the morning is kind of strange.
Why even? It's just so bizarre, like the decision making. I mean, I say this as someone who has like, I don't know how my buddy lived through this, but like I have a close friend, like a fraternity brother, who was walking down I-70, shit-faced drunk at Mizzou, and got hit by a tractor trailer.
Oh,
and
God.
what was like?
Is he alive?
Yeah. I mean, he barely lived through it, but he's fine now. He's like engaged, getting married. But like he was thrown like, I think like almost 100 feet. They said the only thing that saved his life was that the grass was really wet because he got thrown onto the shoulder or whatever.
Okay.
But I mean, fuck, dude. Like, why even walk anywhere? Just do you have a cell phone? Like, there's so many details I want to know. Not that it matters, but where it's like, dude, just call AAA.
I mean, it kind of does matter. I mean, I guess it does in a way, but it's like if it had been Friday morning and not Saturday morning,
Yeah.
I would have just assumed he was going to train, and
Right.
maybe that's where he was going, but I don't know. It doesn't. I guess you're right. It doesn't matter. It just
It
sucks.
doesn't matter. It sucks.
I always thought he was going to be a good NFL quarterback. He just seemed to show up, and the money, having his dumbass friends around,
yeah.
caused some problems. But it seemed like he was getting back into shit in Pittsburgh, like
Yeah.
away from the hometown dummies.
And Mike Tomlin does not fuck around.
No, he doesn't fuck around. It just, I mean,
And let's not act like Washington's like a premier organization that handles quarterbacks well.
It's not. They handled it terrible, and they handled him terribly there. I think, me personally, just from, again, the friends that I've talked to at Ohio State, once he got drafted by his hometown, because he wasn't from a great area, and then he was back with these old friends from high school again, and he has all this money. It wasn't the best fit for him, but by all accounts, everybody in Pittsburgh had said he turned his life around and was playing and taking it pretty seriously. And maybe he could have been a superstar quarterback in the NFL. Nobody knows.
I talked to my barber about that this morning. He said the book on him once he finished that first spring in the NFL is he was kind of a knucklehead, and then by the time he got to Pittsburgh, the book on him from Trubisky and others was that he was like the hardest working dude there.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. It sucks. But whatever happened, it definitely didn't need Adam Schefter to fucking dunk on him as he was fucking dead. You know what I mean? That guy's just such a giant piece of fucking shit.
It's crazy. Was he the one that got popped briefing stories with the GMs? That was him?
No, with the owners of...
The owners of the teams.
Who, in particular? Where was the email to?
Washington.
Yeah.
No
to
way.
fucking
Yeah.
Washington.
Yeah.
Wow. That's fucked up.
Yep.
Still has a job, though. Still has a job.
He's the highest paid employee at ESPN now, I think.
No, Stephen A. Smith. Right?
No,
Stephen
no,
A. Smith.
no. Schefter's deal was like
Oh, that's right.
$8 million.
He just signed a new deal for $8 million. You're right.
Yeah.
Sick.
I just went through last week.
Stephen A's got to be butthurt about that.
I hope he's renegotiating.
He's renegotiating as we speak. Yeah.
That's the hardest working man in America, right there. Stephen A. Smith.
They've got that motherfucker on every second of every show that they can.
You need to take Stephen A's got it.
And now Max,
Wake him up.
Max Kellerman is on some weird ass show like, oh, the facts with Max Kellerman. It's at 2 a.m.
He's buried.
Like, shut the
They
fuck up.
buried him on that network.
He should have stayed on the fucking boxing network.
HBO. Yeah.
He's good at boxing.
He's great at boxing. The problem is the sport of boxing is dead, which will lead us to our
Well,
next
unless
story.
you speak Spanish.
Yeah, unless you speak Spanish, but that'll lead us to our next story. We watched Ryan Garcia over the weekend. He's supposed to be the next big superstar in the sport. We had ringside for it. We were right there. Huge social media following with this guy, 9 million followers on Instagram alone. I don't know about you, but I was not impressed with Ryan Garcia.
I mean, it was his first fight back in 15 months after breaking his hand.
Okay.
So maybe that's the reason he couldn't knock that dude out. But fuck. I mean, the guy was moving around a lot and stuff, but
he was a journeyman, and it's telling afterwards because when you're sitting that close, you really get to see and hear everything. They didn't show you this on television if you were watching on pay-per-view, but he walked into the crowd and let people take pictures with him. The guy who lost.
yeah, to go.
When you do shit like that, you're just happy to be there. Like, you're not expecting to win anything at that point, and you're just going to soak up every second you can. And I think it's great. It was fun to see, and we took a picture with him.
So that was your Saturday night?
That was our Saturday night.
Okay,
yeah.
so you guys missed the best fight of the weekend.
Correct. We did. And,
What,
and
247?
No, yeah. Which, we'll get to that.
273.
Yeah, 273.
273.
We'll get to that in a second.
that's
But a nice segue into that is this. If that's your guy, that's the next big superstar. Because Triple G fought on Friday night, and then Canelo is fighting soon. And if Canelo wins, they're going to go for a trilogy, which in my opinion, because I watched the first two, Triple G won both of those fights.
Yeah, let him fight forever.
Let him fight forever, because that's all that's left. If this is the fucking dude that is supposed to elevate the sport and bring it back, this pretty boy dude, that's not it, fam. That's not it. There's a reason why the UFC is way fucking bigger than boxing right now, and it's because of what happened at 273.
Well,
Giorgio.
It's bigger in the amount of eyeballs it's getting, not bigger in the amount of revenue generated. Right?
Which is odd.
Yes, it's
because
very
the
odd.
fighters are getting so much more money. I think we were with the boxing commissioner, and I think he said Ryan Garcia got $1.75 million for that fight on Saturday night.
And the last one before he broke his hand was $500K.
Correct.
Yeah.
Giorgio, you watched it. What are those guys taking home on Saturday night? What was the main event taking home on Saturday night?
The payouts?
Yeah.
Probably 2 or 3 mil.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah,
I
they
didn't
don't
look at
really
the payouts
release
at
it
all.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Although Florida, they do release.
I think they have to.
payouts,
It's
right?
something with their
UFC
laws.
is UFC not public? Is that a
It
public
depends on
company?
the state. They don't have to release everything.
Yeah, and then you have to do a lot of math because it's all percentage points.
And then
based
you
on
also have
buys,
bonuses and
bonuses,
all that.
Like if you get the fight of the night, it's 50, and then a couple guys got 60 grand in Bitcoin this last time. They have a new
Really?
crypto. Well, it's just Crypto.com is one of their big sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
It's a exchange here that a lot of people use. And they have a new performance fight of the night that they gave 60 grand in Bitcoin.
But
to.
I mean, the main event was not the fight of the night.
Yeah, I was
No,
going to
the
say,
bananas.
how was the fights on Saturday night? Because Dan and I were at the Garcia fight.
I mean, you
it's
had
probably one of the best MMA weekends of the year so far. Would
great
you agree,
card.
Dan?
Great. I mean, you have Chimaev finally getting challenged. Gilbert Burns taking him to the distance. Just seeing what Chimaev is actually made of, and it delivered. It was fucking awesome. It's fantastic.
I saw him at the press conference afterwards. I saw a brief clip on Twitter. It looked like his face was destroyed.
It was a war. It was an absolute war. I mean, Gilbert Burns is one of the top competitors in the world, has a right hand that's a nuclear bomb, and is third place at Abu Dhabi. He's probably the best jiu-jitsu practitioner in MMA right now. But first round, Chimaev went out there, took him down, tried to prove a point to take him down, didn't stay on the ground long. Controlled that first round a lot, found good home with the jab early, and then came back to it later. But in that second round, like Gilbert surprised him. He dropped it. I think
Burns
2
shot them.
knockdowns.
Yeah.
2 knockdowns. I think the technical scoring didn't score it as a knockdown, which we can get into the judging a little bit later. But seeing Chimaev's face getting pushed into deep water, not being able to do to Gilbert what he was doing with everyone else on this run-up was really interesting. And they already, yeah, go ahead in.
Before this fight, do you know how many significant strikes were landed against Chimaev in all of his UFC fights?
No.
One punch.
And how about this fight?
I don't know.
A lot.
Several
Probably 50?
dozens.
Yeah, literally. Honestly, I think this did a lot for Gilbert. Like, we were kind of sweeping Gilbert to the side. He was a big rising star, had an okay career at 55, moved up to 70. Thought he was going to challenge Usman. Dropped Usman early in the first when they fought. Came back. People are kind of thinking he's done a little bit.
Not really. I've
The
never
Dan Hardy fight did a lot for it.
disrespected Burns that way. Burns only loses to, like, Usman. He lost to, like, he's only losing to top guys. It's not
Right,
like
but I
he's-
think that's kind of where it gets you that little, like, it's really hard to get excited about someone again once you've seen them lose to the very best.
So you're thinking, like, he's an ultimate gatekeeper?
I think they were pushing him there, and this fight really brought him back into the main limelight. I think whatever you do next with Gilbert, you got to give him still like a headlining spot. Like, you got to get him in one of those like last 3 fights. You got to get him against good competition. Maybe you give him the loser, that Vicente Luque,
Muhammad fight.
Belal Muhammad
Yeah.
fight. That might get him back in the mix a little bit. We already got Colby Covington scheduled versus Chimaev.
Chimaev's fighting
And
Colby
Chimaev,
next.
Oh,
you
that'd
can
be-
actually get
that's a blast.
Chimaev at plus 115 right now. For the first time in his UFC career,
a dog.
he is a dog. I don't think that's going to stay very long, so if you're interested, go out there and put your money on Chimaev, get a little plus action on that.
Giorgio, who wins that fight?
I was about to ask Dan his first take on that because, Colby Covington's probably one of the best wrestlers in the division besides Kamaru. As tough as nails, has an attitude against him, and wants to stand and bang. So, Dan, how do you feel about those two stepping into the cage together?
I mean, I want Chimaev to win, but after this fight, I think it kind of proves that Colby's going to be another level above Gilbert. So we'll see. We'll see how much Chimaev improves till whenever that fight's going to be, like 6 months, maybe 4 months, who knows?
Yeah, hopefully less than that. Hopefully it was only 4 months.
Yeah, I don't know if Chimaev has any type of like medical suspension from.
I don't think so. I think he was pretty okay after that fight. I don't think there's anything that's going to make him stay out too long. No, like serious breaks.
When you guys
difference-
anticipate that fight going down?
Again, like 4 months probably. 3 or 4 months,
Maybe
yeah.
the Dubai card
Oh, that'd be
when they go
interesting.
back to Dubai.
Yeah, next time they go to fight. Yeah, I'd like that. Should we talk about Mackenzie Dern a little bit?
I mean, what about the
Tisha
two title
Torres?
fights? Let's talk about the 2 title fights before the Mackenzie Dern fight.
Okay, which one first? Volkanovski?
Well, yeah,
Aljamain
Volkanovski
Sterling.
beat the shit out of Korean Zombie. He got to the point where the 4th round, like, he comes out and he's just like, "Are you sure you want to keep fighting?"
Really?
Like, as they dap up, he's like, "Are you sure?" Like,
Yeah.
And then, Herb Dean called it when Korean Zombie was still on his feet, like, because he's just
It was
like
that bad?
It was that bad, yeah.
Okay.
And Volkanovski's talking about moving up to 155.
Yeah, because 145 right now, the only guy that's really gonna like give him another challenge is Max, but he's already beat Max twice.
Don't speak too soon, Daniel, because you know who has just re-entered the USADA pool. Triple C's coming back.
At
Gonna add that
145?
4th C.
He's never
Says he
fought at
wants
145.
Volkanovski. He says he wants the 4th C, man, and he's looking saucy. Some of those, I saw him in some of those training montages. He's probably a good 180 right now.
Who you talking about?
Henry Cejudo.
Henry Cejudo is 180?
Probably.
he-
He's looking saucy.
I mean,
He's
he
looking thick.
You would think he was at 135, so he probably walked around like
125.
160. Oh shit! So he probably walked around like 160.
He won the title at 25 and 35, and I think he's going to come back and fight 45 against Alexander Volkanovski and give him a
To be
run
fair,
for it.
Volkanovski said in his rugby days, he was like 230 pounds. He was just like a
Yeah,
little
can you
ball.
get strong enough if you're fighting? I mean, with 2 or 3 years of packing on mass, you could. But in this amount of time, I guess Cejudo hasn't fought in a while. It's been 18 months, right?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, but I think they just had a very interesting discussion about this with John Jones being able to put on that much weight later on in his career, natty, and then still be able to compete with the cardiovascular intensity that he could before. Because during this 2-year kind of time off for John, he's had to change his training completely. They had a professional bodybuilder on with Chael Sonnen recently, and he's talking about those baby gains that John is just getting because he's never not had a cardio intensive workout plan his entire life for an extended period of time. As soon as he stopped and then got in the gym, he kind of reacted like he just would initially, like he started inflating everywhere.
Yeah.
And is able to put on 20 to 30 pounds without the add of steroids, where if he was already that big and was already like a bodybuilder his whole life or a huge weightlifter without doing much cardio-intensive workouts, it'd be much harder for him to then put that back up. But I think we just got some interesting things happening in MMA right now, to be honest.
Yeah, and then obviously Sterling retains his title.
He did retain the title. He
Technically.
did come in here with the title after receiving it from a disqualification from legal knee to the head, had neck surgery, and then honestly, he dominated this fight. He gave 2 rounds away, and I think he did something.
Although Dana White would disagree. Dana White says that the judges fucked this up.
Okay, why
I
is
just don't think he
Piotr
likes
keeping it
Sterling.
that close? Here's something. Aljamain Sterling did the tried and true method, the only technique that has lasted the entire span of UFC, from Hoist Gracie to the Mark Coleman, like through Chuck Liddell, through anyone else. The one technique that has been able to stay is to be able to get on top of your opponent and not let him up. And that's exactly what Aljamain Sterling did. You know, Piotr Jan did not have an answer for it. He took 2 rounds off. This wasn't the best Aljamain that we can see. And he dominated. You know, it's just simple as
I don't think
that.
he dominated. It was a pretty fucking close
Yeah,
fight.
there's some people in the chat here saying Jan was robbed.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's the
A lot of
story.
people-
That's the story right now because they want Piotr Jan to be the champion. He's a very entertaining fighter. They like
All
the
these
way he
pro-Russian people, man.
Yeah, he stays in the pocket. He bangs hard. He's really exciting.
Tucker Carlson's a big fan of him.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, is he? He's a Russian agent.
Everyone's drawn a Z on their chest.
Actually, he did have that new tattoo. Now that I think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to think the judges gave this to Sterling for Ukraine.
Had to. You have to these days.
Yeah,
you have
Slava
to.
Ukraina.
What's the next big card coming up, Giorgio?
Oh, that's in May. It's in Phoenix or Glendale, Arizona,
Really?
and it's going to be Gaethje Oliveira.
Oh shit, that's a great one.
Yeah.
That's a
Oh
great
yeah,
one.
then Michael Chandler's fighting Tony Ferguson. Underneath that, yeah.
Do we go?
On that one?
Do we go?
Yeah. When is it? What day?
It's
May something.
the
Second
May
week of
7th.
Oh, first.
And Charles Oliveira, Justin Gaethje, Rose Oh, we got Rose versus Cookie Monster.
Thug Rose is on that too.
She's going to fight Carla Esparza, and I think Carla Esparza is going to win, and Dana White's also going to be not happy.
Well, there's 2. There's April 30th, and then the week after that, there's supposed to be events. And some of them, like Israel Adesanya versus Cannonier, is on there. I mean, it's a potential fight anyways. Gaethje Oliveira, you can get Gaethje at plus 120 right now.
No shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Oliveira's minus 150 in that fight.
We might have to
that's
send you
wrong,
guys
though.
with the
I
new
think it's
technology.
May.
Yeah, these are just possible future fights, so it takes a window of time, and that's how, like, if the fight happens after that, it's...
Right, I
that's
don't know,
what
but that is already a scheduled fight, so I don't know why it's a potential fight.
well, maybe they fucked it up.
Maybe they haven't put it anywhere yet. Oh, well, yeah, we'll see. Guess who's back in the UFC, Dan?
Who? Who do we got?
OSP.
Really?
Yep.
All right.
Cool.
St. Pierre, one of the best heavyweights out there. He's fighting Shogun.
No, definitely not one of the best heavyweights out there.
I mean, I like. He had
He
a
is
really
a
great.
tweener.
He had a really great run in Bellator.
He'd be great if they had a 225 division, which they don't.
I don't think they need it, but that's an argument for another time.
Who does he fight then?
He's fighting Mauricio Shogun Rua, former light heavyweight champion.
All right.
So I mean, we got some old heads. Donald Cerrone's fighting on this card too. Like, yeah, it's.
I thought he retired like 4 years ago.
No. He's gonna fight until he dies in the ring.
Yeah,
Cerrone's gonna die in the ring.
I think he has. What's his ranch called? Like Badass Ranch or something, or Bad Motherfucker Ranch.
CTE Ranch. He's gonna just. I mean, dude, save yourself. I love him. He's an entertaining guy and he's great. But just save your body at this point. Save your mind. Unless you just want to die in the ring at this point, you know.
Is it like a Wes Welker situation? You're like, please stop going
Yes.
over the middle. Please.
Please stop running slants. Just stop doing it. Yeah, we look with the new technology. We'll send you there if you do a show from outside the stadium.
That'd be pretty fun. It'd be nice if we can get some access inside some of these stadiums. It'd be pretty cool. Dan, do you know why the Vicente Luque Bilal Muhammad fight might have gotten moved? That was supposed to be next weekend, wasn't it?
It's a fight night.
Yeah, but it looks like it's not there anymore.
I don't know. Man.
Okay.
AIDS. Could have gotten AIDS. You never know. You never know.
Shit gets called off last minute. Like the Rosenstrike fight got called off like a few hours before.
Yeah, I just didn't know if you had any information.
Any inside tip on that? He doesn't. But we got some inside tip on who the next coach of the Lakers is. It's not Frank Vogel. There's a hint. He just got fired by the Lakers after 2 seasons.
To be fair, he hadn't won a championship in 1 season. So.
Frank Vogel is an excellent fucking coach. This is the dumbest shit of all time. Like,
Yeah.
I wish the Hawks would go out and get him tomorrow. He's a fantastic coach. LeBron said he had nothing to do with this decision. He clearly fucking did.
Well, not just that. He was asked about personnel moves on the roster during the offseason and moving into next season. He said he had nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Now, that would be new for him.
Right,
because
right.
every single fucking thing that happened on that Lakers team was of his machination. Like,
And it went through his
The
agency.
Lakers team, the first round of the Mavericks after a couple of years. The Heat, which he accidentally got right, but also Pat Riley had a big enough dick to tell him when to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's always he's never been a very good GM.
No.
Really.
No.
Like, he's had guys who wanted to play for him, and like Wade was already in Miami, so what? He fucking brought himself to Miami. Like, he didn't
and
get
Chris
Wade.
Bosh, I guess. Yeah.
And yeah, Bosch was the third one, but Bosch like died halfway through that fucking team.
Yeah.
I mean, Bosch was still great, but like he wasn't the Chris Bosch
No.
they were expecting.
Ray Allen was the big pickup there.
Yeah.
Obviously, he saved one of their fucking he saved their title run.
Yeah.
But that wasn't LeBron that did that. So
No.
Either way,
They're out.
they're done for the year. That happened. It's just amazing.
Fucking blow me last night, though. Fucking Lakers come. I think they were down like 10 with like 3 minutes left. Had Nuggets -2. It's just a bunch of scrubs playing.
Yeah, who had the over under of
I
what is
wouldn't
it?
touch that game.
I know. I was full tilt because
287?
of the Masters.
That's
I lost
some
a lot of-
junky shit,
I
yeah.
lost some money, so I was trying to get it back.
Dude, yeah, late night live NBA lines.
Took a live line on the
fucking
Nuggets
problem.
down 5. They came back. They got up 10, and then 3 minutes left, and Austin Reeves decides to just go off for the Lakers, forces overtime, and then they win the game in OT.
287 points they scored, and I don't think one starter for either team was in either of these games.
They sent Frank Vogel off with a dub, so
Yeah,
there you go.
congratulations. Let's go over the odds here for the NBA championship. Phoenix Suns, this is all on mybookie.com, by the way. Promo code Drinkin Bros will double your deposit up to $1,000. The Phoenix Suns are listed at number 1. It's a strange odd, plus 246 to 1. Usually doesn't work in sixes like that. Usually it's zeros, but hey, I guess some
Let's get
people
weird
are
with it, yeah.
betting it. Look, they finished the regular season with the best record.
They're not winning the title.
I don't think so either.
No.
I don't think so either.
I've got money on the Grizzlies already. I think the Grizzlies are going to win.
So the value's there, right? What
Yeah,
are they?
it's 12.75.
12 plus 12.75. 12 and a half to 1, essentially.
The West is a lot harder
West is a lot harder. But,
I don't agree with that. I think they're pretty even.
at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's big questions, right? Like, are the Sixers going to be able to keep it going?
Will Harden play well?
When Simmons comes onto the Nets, is that going to fuck everything up or make it better? There's a lot of questions.
I mean, Thibault can't play in the fucking first series in Canada because
Yeah.
he's not fully vaccinated.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's cool. Thanks, Canada.
what
Yeah.
a fucking weird rule.
Yeah, it's so
He
stupid.
only has one Pfizer shot. He's like, I'm good.
Yeah, he's
after one.
halfway there. He's like, I don't need the other one.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't get one. Like, either just get the second one or don't have
Or
ever
don't.
gotten it.
I'm not sure how much sense it makes to not do it now. After, I mean, if it was like 3 months apart or something, that's not good medically speaking. But if it's a year later, I mean, it's just going to be the same mild irritation that you got the first time.
He got one and was just like, nah, we're good.
Nah, we're good, fam.
But yeah, the
good.
other, I mean, it's top heavy. Phoenix has got a good shot, but they always have an injury. Bucks are next at plus 450. We don't know if Middleton is going to show out like he did last time because he saved their fucking season,
Yep.
right? Against that in that series against the Hawks.
Yeah.
Mavericks were hot towards the end of the season.
Yeah, Mavericks were hot towards the end of the season, but I think
I don't buy them.
No.
I mean, Dumcic is too ball dominant for them to win. Like they've got to get. When's the last time? The last time that a fucking team that was primarily run by a single ball handler like that won was fucking Kobe in 2012.
It is, and look, it's fun to watch, like because you'll watch the Mavericks play, and he'll drop 45 every game.
Yeah.
So the playoffs are going to be a blast. The Bucks are at 450. They're in the 2-hole. That's who I had picked to win the whole thing. Odds aren't.
I just
great on
don't
that,
know. I mean,
4.5 to
going
1.
back to back is so fucking hard.
It is.
And
It is.
having role players like that step up in big moments back to back is hard. Middleton has always been a good player. He's like a fucking 18 to 20 PER guy. He's going to score you 24 points. But showing up the way he did, efficiency-wise, playing great defense in the playoffs, I don't know. I mean, every time you go deep into the playoffs, there's a regression in the next year, typically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, teams don't get better the second year. They carve it out the second year. Sometimes, I guess it's different with the Warriors. Their second championship
I'm
was better.
terrified.
When you're so
the,
airtight. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm terrified the Celtics are starting to figure shit out.
Well, let me.
They look pretty good,
I'll tell you
too,
what,
yeah.
Let me get to the third team here because this is a huge surprise gambling-wise. The third favorite team here is the Brooklyn Nets at plus 600. Aren't they playing in the play-in game?
Yes, they're playing in the play-in game, and they also have a player that can't play in Toronto. So if they run into them, they're fucked.
Yeah.
Well, they won't.
Like Kyrie Irving can't play in Canada.
No,
obviously.
he can't play in Canada. But
we don't have to worry about that after the first round. We're fine.
And that's fine. But it's a plus 600 odds for
Name
this
value. Durant.
I
Irvin.
guess so, man.
Get the suckers on them.
So, yeah, you think a lot of people. I mean, obviously, a lot of people must be betting them, but fucking A, dude.
They've got three.
That's a mystery because after that, it's Golden State Warriors at plus 730.
They've got 3 dudes with championships on 3 different teams on their team. That means something. Like when you're handicapping, and if Simmons happens to come back and contributes in any way, even if it's just playing defense, you know what I mean? That is a really good. If you have like a fucking great defender who can go, I would say 1 through 5, but definitely 2 through 5, right? This guy can defend typically.
I think he can guard all 5 positions.
I mean, it depends on the point guard, right? But and then you add scoring like Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. You got fucking shooters like Seth Curry and Patty Mills out there, right? That's a pretty good pretty good recipe. He is now, but he can shoot from the corner. He can shoot corner threes.
I would
and
hope.
He's good to win 1 or 2 games, for real. I think with a late 3. The sexiest team here out of this is next up with Boston Celtics at plus 850. I'm with you on the Celtics train. It seems like they're clicking. They're figuring shit out.
And I, as a Sixers fan, I just have nightmares every time we match up with them in the playoffs because they usually destroy us.
Yes. Yeah. So that's a fun one, at least at 8.5. The other odds aren't that great. Miami Heat is at plus 880. I don't think they're going to win. Your 76ers are at plus 1050. Any shot they can win it all.
I would hope so.
But what do you really believe?
I'm gonna go with my heart and say yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But your mind is telling you definitely
No, my
not.
heart will go on.
They're good enough. They're for sure good enough.
Yeah,
The East doesn't have like a hard ceiling on it.
Yeah, I mean the Heat are the 1 seed. Like I don't buy the Heat.
They're not very deep in any well, at least in that game against Toronto, right? Like they're not, because Tybal's going to be out and he's their 6th man. So there's going to be some rotation problems there. But they're starting 5. I don't think there's a better starting 5 necessarily.
I mean,
right?
Shake Milton, Korkmaz, you got some contributors off the bench that can go off every now and then.
Maxey's been playing really well.
Yeah,
Maxey's been
awesome.
playing. He's been great all fucking season. I think he's been the 2nd best player on that team all
He could be a fucking superstar. It depends on Harden. Harden's been really fucking cold, like the last 10, 15 games.
He plays like such an effortless style that it seems like he's not giving effort when he's in a bad streak, and I don't think that's true. I think he takes too much heat for it. Now, he should get a lot of heat for being kind of a dick and not playing any fucking defense to speak of. But let's call it what it is. Let's not make just because the Euro step style or the step back style looks like he's just playing street ball, but it's very effective for him.
Well, he also just looks casual. It's almost like an Andrew Jones situation where he just looks so fucking casual.
Like, what do you want me to do? Like, I can't try any harder.
Yeah, you want to
I'm
like
trying.
make
Make a meaner face.
Yeah, he should just have smelling salts tucked into his beard.
Exactly.
All the time.
Just make a meaner face, dude.
But yeah, that team, I think that team is good, especially if they get through some of this early bullshit and get a rhythm as a team. Harden starts getting a rhythm. They can definitely win.
I will grow my beard until the Sixers win the title.
Oh boy, you're gonna be Wee Willie Winky style. That's gonna be down to your knees.
It's kind of a win-win.
It's a win for the audience. The audience,
the audience,
No,
but
for me,
not for whoever you're dating.
No.
oh fuck them.
It gets to a point where what are you, Billy Gibson from ZZ Top?
No, he's like Richard Gere. No kissing on the mouth.
Don't weigh hamsters in the ass.
Yeah.
Next up is the Memphis Grizzlies at plus 1275.
That's my team.
These odds are strange. So with the Grizzlies in particular on this, I'm going to sprinkle a little money on them just because I love seeing Ja Morant play. The more Ja, the better. I want this guy to go deep into the playoffs because he's a fucking blast.
He needs to be. I hope they go deep because they need to have a Stars Born situation with Ja Morant.
They're also they're one of the only teams in the entire NBA where all 5 of their starters plus their 6th man have a PER of 15 or over, which means they have above average players at every single position down through 6. That's not common at all.
And really, really genuinely good home court advantage.
Oh, yeah.
A college-esque home court advantage. I mean,
This is loud as shit.
The only other things you can do in Memphis are like eat barbecue and get murdered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like either that or go to the fucking basketball game.
And they are, so I don't know if you've ever been to Memphis or been to the
Also the
FedEx
basketball.
Forum.
I have, yeah.
But their fucking arena is, so Memphis has a kind of like shittier version of Bourbon Street, but it's still very fun to get fucked up on, Beale Street. And FedEx Forum is literally on Beale Street. Like, it'd be like putting where the Pelicans play on Bourbon.
Yeah.
People go into there fucking out of their minds drunk, and they're just loud in general. They're just, because that's the only team they have, like, in the city. Like, that's their only fucking team. It's also cool the Memphis Redbirds play on Beale Street as well. Like, it's a very smart way they set up the city there.
Yeah, and they needed to do it for a while, like capitalize off that shit.
Yeah.
That's what's fun about going to Saints games is you can go into the French Quarter and then just stumble into the game. You're like, all right, great, I'm drunk.
Yeah.
Let's get drunker and fucking rage. Next up is the Nuggets. These guys are always under the radar. They're at plus 2,000. Djokovic is probably the MVP.
Wrong Serbian.
I'm sorry. What's
Jokic.
There we go.
Yeah, who cares?
Who cares? I would love to care about this guy. Like, I would rather see Embiid win the MVP, just because I don't really give a shit about his game. Watching it reminds me of like an old Vlade Divac style, where I'm just like,
he's such a good pass. I love
He's a
watching
good
him pass.
facilitator.
I don't like him.
He's just good all around.
He is, but it's just a brick of a man that's standing there. And
It's hilarious to watch.
And he's
this
got like a-
fat, lumpy man.
It is. It's like watching-
dominate.
He's skinny fat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a skinny fat man.
It's like playing your dad.
They're slower right now than they would have been last year had the injuries not happened. Like Djokovic is a high post player, and they have Boogie Cousins, who's had a fucking good year over there. He's scoring 17 points a game. Or some
Boogie
shit like
is
that.
back. Like, Boogie looks good.
Yeah, his legs
What's
look
Jamal
good.
Murray's situation? That's the only thing
I don't know. I can't. I'm looking for it right now. But Aaron Gordon adds a little bit of fucking slash to that party as well, which is something new.
Problem with the Nugs is they're always like, man, if it just wasn't for these injuries. It's literally Michael Porter Jr. and fucking Jamal Murray. It's like, fuck, they're hurt again.
Yeah.
Because when they're playing and they're healthy, like, they do a good job. Like,
And Murray in the playoffs can go off for like
Murray
50.
is a 50-point type of dude.
Unfortunately, we're not going to see either one of those guys because Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. are both out for the entirety of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Great. Great. There's
So,
no
yeah,
shock.
no shot at the title.
Will Barton's another dude that's like super streaky. He's a good guy to have on your team, but frankly, having him as like your number 2 scoring guy that's not a good recipe.
What about your Atlanta Hawks?
No. So my Atlanta
playing
Hawks are at plus 10,000. You heard that correctly.
Sprinkle.
That is plus
There is
10,000.
a good sprinkle on there, a deep value good sprinkle.
They're playing the Hornets in the play-in game.
They're gonna beat the
first
Hornets.
play-in game.
Yeah, they'll beat the Hornets.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm fine with that.
I don't know.
The Hawks are weirdly deep. They've been massively disappointing this season. I think you sprinkle the Hawks.
Why not?
And you see what happens.
Why not lay 20 on the Hawks?
This I will just to do it, but this team is a disappointment. This has been a horrific season for us, especially after being one game away from the championship last year. Like this is a colossal disappointment. This team.
It's not like they were incredible during the season last year, right? I mean,
Well,
they were an above-average team, but they weren't like fucking destroying
The
people.
last 30% of this, the last third of the year, they were on fire and they couldn't be stopped, and that led all the way into the playoffs, and they were hot, which has a lot to do with
They
it.
were a 5 seed last year.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, being hot helps, but are they hot right now?
They were under 500 at the All-Star break, and then they picked it up. No, I don't believe in this team.
They're
I'll throw 20 on
7-3.
them.
They're 7-3 in their last 10, but who knows what those last 2 games especially were like.
Exactly.
I think the Jazz have pretty good odds.
Yeah, I was just going to say. So the Jazz are up next at plus 2,200.
Don't care. No.
I don't care about the Jazz
Fuck the
either.
Jazz.
The Jazz are the Nuggets to me. I don't care about
You
either.
know who
of these.
disappears in the playoffs?
What?
Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert sucks in the playoffs.
But here's the thing, though. The Jazz, unlike the Nuggets, aren't hurt. They're not perpetually hurt. They have a good coach. They are deep, and they also have a pretty good home court advantage between elevation and the crowd actually getting into it.
Mitchell will also go off during a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which
but
he-
they're,
but
they're
they-
like, that's a team to me without an identity. Like, who's the leader of that team?
It's Mitchell.
Is it?
Is it? Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to say. I would have said.
I wouldn't say Mike Connolly.
Yeah, you wouldn't
No,
say
it's
Mike
not Mike
Conley?
Conley. I don't think there is one.
No, it's Mitchell. Mitchell's by far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the best player on
He's
this
the best
team.
But I mean,
player,
they're-
but
But
is
is
he
he
the
the
leader?
leader?
I think
I love
so.
their-
Everyone, I don't even think they like Gobert, right? Like Gobert's just kind of
They hate
He's
him.
a dick. Yeah. They just like swap.
He was the
balls,
COVID
that's
guy.
He's a
Yeah,
He was
he-
licking all the microphones. and shit.
He
He's
is
French.
the originator of COVID. Yeah. In my mind.
Patient
Patient zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fucked
Patient
that.
zero.
He fucked that bat.
That pangolin.
Yeah.
England, yeah.
Mavericks are plus 2,100 here. It'll be fun to watch Luka play, but they're not going to win the title.
They're just not very deep, I don't think.
The last question I have here. So the LA Clippers are at plus 3,100 here. Kawhi, to my knowledge, isn't playing, and neither is
George. George
Paul
is
George,
back.
right?
No.
Oh, George is back.
George was playing the other day. Yeah.
Okay.
He
but
just
Kawhi is. not come back,
don't
right?
think so.
But they're in a good position, right? It's 7-8. You only have to win the one game. If you can win that first game, then you don't have to deal with the other play-in game.
Right.
And they're playing Minnesota. Minnesota's pretty good. But
Minnesota's fun, dude.
Yeah.
That's a fun team to watch. They're plus 6,600. I would take Minnesota in that first game.
I mean, they've got D'Angelo Russell's day-to-day. I'm sure he's going to play if he's able. But Anthony Edwards and Patrick Beverley.
Anthony Edwards has been like a massive surprise, I think.
I know.
Because like I remember before he was drafted, even though he was the number 1 overall pick, but like
Yeah.
the rap going in when they drafted him, like before and all the interviews and everything, he was like, I'm not in love with the game of basketball, which is not what you want to hear
Yeah.
before you draft a guy.
Right.
But yeah, no, he's taking it to another level. He's clearly a dude.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think if you go into that game, you got to focus on, or if you've got that team, you got to fucking focus on defense. A lot of that scoring comes natural. D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, Cat, they're all natural scorers. But you've got Patrick Beverley at the point. You're not going to get any points out of him, right? I mean, free throws and shit when he gets fouled, but typically he doesn't take a whole lot of shots. But you can, like, he is a fucking piece of shit as a defender.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, he is an asshole
Pesky.
that is on you 24 hours a fucking day. And to be honest, going up against fucking the Clippers like that, who's going to be the primary ball handler for them, right? Is it because
Well, if Russell's out, is he going to play?
It's
Reggie
Jackson,
Jackson, right?
probably,
Bring the ball
right?
up.
And
Him and Paul George.
Then
I
he's got to
like
get it to
Reggie
Paul
Jackson's
George.
all right.
Clippers fucking suck. It doesn't matter. And also, to go back to the patient zero thing, Karl Anthony Towns wants to win this because he wants to get to Gobert,
boy.
who is patient zero. And Karl Anthony
killed
Towns'
both his
entire
parents.
Killed his
family
entire family, yes.
was killed by Rudy Gobert.
6 members of his family died from COVID.
Yeah, no one is more affected from COVID than Karl Anthony
No
Towns.
shit.
He wants Gobert in the arena.
Paul George is past the point in his career where he's playing in isolation, right? And both of the Morris brothers are better as off-ball offensive guys, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Minnesota probably wins that game pretty easily because Reggie Jackson versus Patrick Beverley, I'll take that matchup all day.
Dude, the Clippers, they don't fucking care. Like I think all those contracts like expiring or some shit. Like that team is pointless.
Yeah.
With all of this said,
Your entire existence.
the
is
Bucks will
pointless.
probably repeat.
That's what I said. I've said that for a while. I think they're going to repeat.
I love if you want like I think the best the best low odds play is Golden State.
Well, Golden State hasn't been playing that great the second half of the season. It's strange. They have all the talent. I don't know why.
Well, Steph Curry's been out for the last 20 games, I think. 14, 15 games.
Has he?
Like that. Yeah.
Okay.
He's supposed to come back in the first round, but not necessarily the first game in the first round, right? So we'll see.
All right. And Simmons might be back for the Nets, so we'll see.
Yeah, there's a chance he's going to be there for that play-in game, although I think I would wait for a full series to try to work him in and not a single game.
I agree.
because
Yeah.
That seems problematic.
I agree. And then we'll clean up last week as far as the championship game went. UNC lost to Kansas in that game. And
Cost me $1 million fucking dollars.
it cost you $9,000.
Well, technically it cost me $100, but
yeah.
I would have made 9,000 if those bitches had fucking whatever.
Well, look, Carolina did cover, so that was nice.
Right.
Yeah, I won
The
that
spread
one.
was -4, so we had that.
Carolina just wasn't deep enough, and they just kind of blew their load in the first half, and they
They-
were tired.
they were
you had
exhausted.
guys puking on the fucking floor.
We were exhausted, yeah.
You
Well,
had
he got-
Caleb Love turned his ankle in the
Yeah.
first half, and he was hobbling around the entire game.
The puking guy took a fucking
Puff
elbow
Johnson?
to the gut.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
he was vomiting. But I felt like McCormick should have been ejected in the first half for just wailing on Manick's face twice in 4 possessions. The first one, he just swings his elbows around wildly. People are like, oh, that's an accident. No, you are responsible for your fucking body parts hitting other people. It's not just a common foul. A flagrant one is when it's accidental. That should have been a flagrant one, that first one where he just came down on his face, and he hit him in the face 4 plays later.
Take
then he hit him in the
everything I
face with a
say-
fucking hook shot to win the game.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Take everything I say with a grain of salt because I'm a Mizzou fan and I hate Kansas. That's what Kansas players fucking do. They've been doing that forever. You know who played for Kansas? The fucking Morris twins.
Yeah.
You know who else played for Kansas? Who was the guy who
Embiid.
molested Phil Pressey and that Robinson, I think, was their center? Dude, they always have dirty elbow throwing dudes.
All right, what are you trying to say about Embiid?
Embiid's maybe the only likable player from K. You want another one?
Yeah,
Paul
but
Pierce.
back-
Paul Pierce is a fucking asshole too.
he's an asshole.
But Embiid didn't have the lower body strength to assault anybody back then.
True.
Right? He could barely stay upright.
Yeah.
But R.J. Davis, 5 for 17, 0 for 5 from 3. Love, 5 for 24, 1 for 8 from 3.
Love was fucked up.
But that was the difference. I said on that pregame show, I said, look, he's going to be the superstar. You ride the hot hand, and he went fucking ice cold. I don't really care
But
about the
also,
injury.
like, maybe one of the dumbest shots at the end of the game with 16 seconds left.
Yeah. Horrific.
There was
three
so
from, like,
much
the logo.
Horrific. Yeah,
There
dude.
was so much time. I mean,
so much
Real
time.
bad.
get fucking pump fake, and instead of dodging the guy, get under him, shoot the 3, and get 3 fucking free throws.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many other ways to have handled that
A
situation.
lot of
It's also
dumb
worth-
things. And then also, like, Kansas probably should have covered, but the guy catches the ball out of
Out of bounds.
Yeah.
And then there was one spot on the floor where that kid twisted his ankle.
Like
Because
twice.
the floor
and then,
fucking went down.
And then Manic, it looked like he was coming around on a curl to get the ball to shoot the game winner, and he fell over on the ground and tumbled. And the last shot went to somebody else.
The floor was like like that.
It was in that one specific spot.
floorboard like gave way. The floorboard gave out, and the guy fell. I forget his name, but it was the dude with the dreads who was really fucking good. The guy fucking fell.
Backho.
Yeah.
Bacot.
Yeah,
Baycott. Baycott's how you say
Also
it,
worth
yeah.
noting, like people were saying North Carolina blew the game, and I guess they did. I mean, they're up 15 at the half, but man, Kansas just had they were so unsustainably bad in the first half. The way they were, like the amount
They
of
had
just
25 points in
the
the first
amount
half.
of rimmed out layups they had.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, like you couldn't.
And then
have-
they didn't really miss in the second half.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
didn't miss in the second
bounced
half at
regret.
all.
Yeah, I mean,
but
you
it cost me the over.
Yeah.
There were 6 minutes in that first half where Kansas went without a field goal.
you couldn't have had worse luck in the first half than Kansas had.
And then second half, Braun took over and just kind of.
Remy Ma.
Also, Remy
hit
fucked
I think
you.
Remy hit like 3 or 4 threes in the
God
second
damn, that
half.
guy was on fucking fire, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the nightmare
Pop the
scenario.
bottles.
It was
I
the
told you.
nightmare scenario that we wanted for Bob. That Kansas is champion.
Kansas
whatever.
wins the championship, and a player he's hated for the last 2 years of our show, Remy Martin,
Wins the
just
game for
puts
him.
it in his face.
He was the best player.
I would say McCormick too. He took over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was really good at elbowing people in the face, for example.
and
Yeah.
hitting game winners.
But honestly, I think his style of play is going to translate pretty decently to the NBA at some point, right? I mean, not a whole lot of big dudes have a touch, and like I would like to see some stats on this, but other than maybe some of the softer-handed guys like Jokic and shit, those baby hooks near the rim, I watch a lot of basketball. They never fucking make that shot. It always hits like the iron and goes off somewhere. They don't use the backboard correctly. This dude from like about 10 feet out, give or take, maybe 10 to 12 feet out, that baby hook that he does, every single time, it's fucking nothing but net. Every single time.
He's really good. He's got great footwork.
Yeah.
He could be a superstar. What year is he? Do you know?
Hang on, I'll look.
Doesn't matter if he's ready.
He's
ready.
a little older. I
He's a
think.
senior.
He's a senior, yeah.
He's done.
Yeah. So he's out of there and heading on to the NBA. But
No,
I
that's not
text.
true. That's
What?
not true.
What do
He
you
can
mean?
stay.
Hell, he could, but I think he's gone.
He has a COVID year.
Yeah, he's a COVID
Yeah,
year,
he can go
but
5.
after playing that well in the tournament
Yeah.
and the national championship,
Yeah,
there's
but only
no
2
reason.
rounds though, NBA draft. And it doesn't always translate like guys who are really good in
They
college.
don't. Yeah.
But for a body that big, I think
Yeah,
he,
like
he
Chet
goes.
Holmgren in the NBA, that's a fucking joke to me.
Yeah, same here.
honestly.
And you guys think he's going 1?
No,
He
I
is
don't think
going
he'll go
one. It's either going to be him or Jabari Smith.
Not
Or
Benchero.
Ben-
I think
I think-
Benchero played himself into
Benchero.
the one.
May-
Then
I guess
Chet-
it depends. Yeah,
I wouldn't
he's-
draft Chet Holmgren.
No. I wouldn't fucking even.
I would
sign
like
him as a
Jabari
free
Smith.
agent.
There's
one.
some years where if you have the 3rd pick, you're lucky to get like a good dude off the bench.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I do think Holmgren is going to be a productive NBA player.
Gross.
I do, but that doesn't mean he's going to be fucking amazing or anything. Like
He's a Sean Bradley. You put him in there for 6 fouls. and
you're
then
goddamn
whatever
lucky
happens.
to pick Sean Bradley in the top 3 in an NBA draft on a random year.
Who in
You
that
also gotta
draft?
pair-
Sean Bradley went 1. Who was 2 in that?
I don't know. Sean Bradley didn't go 1, but he was a lot of.
He was number. I think
he was
fourth.
1, right?
I think
So
he was picked
the
fourth.
Pistons are gonna have the first pick, right? Probably again.
Well, they're gonna have the best
One
They'll,
would
lottery.
they'll have the best
imagine.
lottery chances, but like if they do get the number 1 overall pick, you got to kind of pair up Cade Cunningham with whoever you want. So probably Jabari Smith.
Yeah.
Cade was pretty bad this year too.
He
so-
was second overall behind Chris Webber and ahead of Penny Hardaway.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I would actually argue that Sean Bradley had a better NBA career than Penny Hardaway. You just like Penny.
Not one goddamn prayer.
You just like
on this
Penny
earth.
Hardaway better because
No,
he was
Penny
sexy.
Hardaway went to a fucking championship, and the only reason he lost it was because there was the fucking Magic, dude. They're not gonna win anything.
Yeah.
Penny Hardaway died as soon as Shaq left.
Yeah, for sure. It was so that draft.
He was really good though for a lot of fucking years.
That's
Penny
I'm not
Hardaway
saying
is
that Penny
fucking
Hardaway was
amazing.
bad. I'm saying you are misremembering Penny Hardaway because he was so well marketed in the 90s.
There was a little miniature version of him that was
Yeah,
pretty
right.
popular.
Lil Penny.
Little Penny, dude. Lil Penny
And
was
also,
awesome.
So
throw
after
some respect on Space Jam star Sean fucking Bradley.
I mean, look, he played for 14 seasons.
not one motherfucker not related to Sean Bradley said, "Hey, let's go watch Space Jam. Sean Bradley's in it." Jesus Christ, dude. That was a pretty top-heavy draft, as most drafts are. I mean, let's see, where is it? The 7th pick was Bobby Hurley.
Dude, NBA drafts get really grim,
Yeah.
really, especially if you don't know anything about college basketball. You just want to like puke after like the
every
third
now
pick.
and then you find a diamond in the rough in the second round.
Yeah, like
yeah,
Draymond.
yeah,
Nick Van Exel was no, Draymond was like 15th overall.
No,
No,
Draymond was
no.
second rounder.
Second round, yeah.
Also,
It was-
wasn't Jokic also second round?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
But he was international, right? So
They didn't know anything about him, and he was fat. He was really fat.
Who was?
Jokic.
Oh,
was the
yeah,
first-
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's always the best thing too. Is when you have an international guy, there's usually always tape of them going against a broom. Mm-hmm. So like
Yeah.
all the footage of Giannis and everything, it's just him doing layup drills against a broom.
Which you should do.
Yeah.
That's what you should do. Maybe a lot more players would be better. Either way, looking forward to the NBA playoffs. When does that start? Tomorrow?
the first play-in games I think are tomorrow. Yeah, hang on, let me look.
Man, that's going to be a blast. Tuesday.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
the Cavaliers and Nets.
Okay.
Cavs really fell off this year.
Yeah.
No,
I
they
mean,
were one.
One of their
half the
guys
year.
is one of those young guys is hurt. One of those two young guys. So I don't think they have a whole lot of shot at this.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the spread here. So this is Cavs at Nets. This is Brooklyn minus 8.5.
Yeah.
It's a big boy spread. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of points for that game. Next up is Clippers against the T-Wolves, and that is T-Wolves minus 3.
Yeah, I think
in that game.
honestly, you're probably fine betting both of those lines as is. Like you're probably fine taking the 8.5 is a lot of points, but the Cavaliers,
Yeah.
what's his name? Their center, the young guy, he's out for the year, right?
Tristan Thompson?
No, what? No,
Yeah, he's the center for. He's still the center for Cleveland, right?
no.
No.
He's not. Who is it?
He is playing.
Jared Allen, like 23-year-old center with a 23 PER. He's out. He's out for the rest of the year, I think. So unless there's some update to that, he's been ruled out for Tuesday's play-in game. He had a broken finger, I think.
Yeah, but you have Evan Mobley from USC, the stud rookie.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a really good young team, but
Let me ask you this, Delco, real quick here, because I'm looking through the roster now, and a lot of it is foreign here. Who's the top scorer in the Cavs?
If I was to guess,
LeVar maybe.
like off the top of my, is Darius Garland?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Darius Garland is the top scoring guy on the Cleveland
good, yeah.
Cavaliers.
He's like one
Gets
of the
no press, that guy. Zero.
Well, it's Cleveland.
I know.
But him, Garland, Allen, and who's the other guy? It's not Mobley. Who's the other young guy? And Kevin Love is their fucking sixth man right now.
Yeah.
Karis LeVar, he's 27. He's scored 17 points a game this year.
Yeah, LeVert from the Nets.
Yeah.
He's a part of that deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Rajon
always solid.
Londo's there. Let's go, dude.
I don't think he's getting a whole lot of playing time, but
Playoff Rondo?
Yeah, playoff Rondo.
Rubio's there too. I mean, he's a decent game
I
manager.
don't hate this team. They were at one point, I think, like a top 2 seed in the East,
Yeah.
top 3 seed in the
They were
East.
doing work in their early season.
They
for
just
sure.
fucking once they had a couple of injuries and it just kind of fell apart there, but it could come back together pretty quickly.
Tristan Thompson's not even on the fucking team anymore.
No, he died.
What happened to him?
He's
Did he
dead.
die?
Yeah.
The Kardashians took him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand it.
It's hard to play when you have to get women pregnant.
It is.
Like his job is to get women pregnant.
Yeah, he's
Sure.
he's the center for the Bulls now.
He's a handsome
Basketball's
man.
hobby.
Yeah, he is.
He looks just like Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, except
taller.
9 feet taller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only difference is 9 feet. But this will be fun. I can't wait for this to kick off. And obviously, can't wait for football to come back in the fall.
Obviously.
We will be doing
No,
golf
man, it's
picks this
fucking
week.
baseball
Yeah,
season,
we'll
baby.
try to turn it around. Although these are not my picks this week, so I lost that bet.
Yeah, you want to tell the audience what that is?
Yeah, we'll get to it tomorrow on the golf show. Yeah.
And we'll do baseball probably Wednesday. I don't
Okay.
know.
Yeah,
We'll
and-
look at the
For those who didn't
Sketch.
catch our baseball show last week, we are converting this show. It is no longer a general baseball show. It is an Atlanta Braves
Yeah.
podcast.
Great.
Yeah.
'Cause
I'm
it's
tired. I'm tired of pretending like the rest of the league even has a chance to win the title. So
Don't disrespect my Reds like that.
Did you guys pick the Braves to win on the preseason show?
We both picked them in the World Series.
Yeah, I think I actually picked Toronto to beat the Braves.
I believe I picked the White Sox.
And I picked the Reds over the Guardians.
I can't get used to that. The Guardians popped up over the weekend, and I was like, "The fuck is that?"
gonna be
And I was
tough.
like, "Oh my god, that's right. It's Cleveland."
I call it the Cleveland baseball team, CBT.
That's better than fucking the Guardians.
Yeah.
Jesus
To-
Christ.
I will say my one thing in defense of Guardians in particular is that at least it is specific to the city. It's not just a name out of a hat like the Titans.
Yeah, that's
You know what
true.
I mean? Like it is specific to like some statues in the city. Whereas like I'm going to pick on Nashville here because they have the fucking worst team names. The Titans, that is some out of a hat dog shit any given Sunday football team name.
It is. You know, it was originally going to be the Tuxedos. Tennessee
what?
Tuxedos, yeah.
Well, they wanted to get the Oilers back, but the Houston franchise still owns that.
still own it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
And then the other one, and this is almost as bad, the Nashville Predators, right? It's a saber-toothed cat on their shit or whatever.
Nope.
Here's
Yeah.
how they fucking picked that. I think while they were excavating the stadium, they found a fossil.
Yeah, also tough
Really?
look to be called the Predator in 2022.
Exactly,
Yeah.
dude. Like, that's the worst fucking name in all of NHL.
The Nashville Sexual Predators.
Predators.
I
Yeah.
mean, just fucking lean into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me Too was what, 2018 is when this
Have a
shit
little
started?
kid come out and drop the puck, and you know,
That's 16, yeah.
and then a guy like Sean that
No,
helps
you
him out there.
you just make your mascot fucking Harvey Weinstein. Why not?
Actually-
Weinstein, excuse me. He says it a stupid way.
whatever.
Or every second grade teacher in America.
Oh boy, Bob. Still never got touched. Still never got touched and regrets it.
Yeah, it's Kansas and not getting touched as a kid. That's
That's a
your
lot.
fucking,
That's the
That's
Catholicism
your,
in us.
it's your,
You know what?
It's a cross I bear.
your
I-
origin story.
I texted him, and I've never felt anger come through the phone like this. And I said, "Dude, do you regret not going to Kansas? Because
Was
you would
never
have
an
won.
option. Like, I
You
wouldn't
would have
wanna
won
go.
2 natties, dude. At this point,
They are 5 years away from being UConn. Actually, this is a little bit of a tinfoil hat, but I do believe this. This championship probably was enough to save them if and when the Big 12 dies.
It's kind of weird being the only guy with a national championship in the last 5 years at this table. So
is it? It's you.
it's me.
It's you. Yeah, for UFC. Yeah,
of course.
UCF.
Yeah.
And I'll give you that. I still recognize that title, by the way.
Everyone does. Coley Matrix.
Yeah. I'm in. I'm into it. I'll give it to you.
You have a good party for that one?
Disney World had a parade.
They did.
did.
They
I
actually did have a
personally,
fucking parade.
You and your fraternity brothers just like went and met up for the fucking
No,
Coley
dude.
Matrix announcement.
There was a fucking huge parade for that thing, right?
I was
Yeah.
at the game. I was in Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
It was at the same stadium as the national championship. All the logos and all the banners in the city were for national championship. I saw nothing about the Peach Bowl.
Did they give out rings? I think they did, right?
You get rings.
Yeah,
for
we got
every bowl game.
rings. We got a parade. Yeah, it was the whole thing.
Yeah, you won the national championship.
Don't listen to this. Everyone knows they would have rather carried that goalpost to Harpo's after he beat Oklahoma than any of that fake national tidy bullshit.
Fuck Missouri.
What? Did you win like 9 games that year?
Yeah.
I was a 10. I was a double-digit team.
Was it?
Bitch team.
First off,
Have you ever beat a number 1 ranked school during your homecoming?
have you ever been ranked number 1?
They finished the season.
Coley
one.
Matrix, yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
no.
So one.
The hard no.
No.
According to the BCS, we're 1.
One. Yeah. Yeah. To the
I trust
BCS.
computers, not humans.
And we all should. We all should. Boy, fun show. We got golf picks tomorrow. We got baseball on Wednesday. Don't forget to rate and subscribe to the show on iTunes and Spotify. Just give it a 5-star and leave a quick review on iTunes. And Spotify is just a 5-star. That is it. Bet with us or against us on mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros doubles your deposit up to $1,000. For D'Anthony Holloway, Delco Dan, Hot Bob, and Papa G, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Monday Morning Recap. Good morning, everyone.